On the 18th of September, millions of people will be voting for the future of Scotland. The question that keeps coming up is that of currency. I hope the following information will help debunk some myths and provide some answers to this question. Now, in a recent debate, Alex Salmond was attacked for not offering an alternative to the pound because he believed strongly in what he was saying. Why do we need a plan B, C or D when he was defending that we'll keep the pound and a currency union is best? It certainly is an easy and convenient solution and makes trade easier. However, there are several alternative solutions. First, let's have a quick look at currency unions. Currency unions exist all over the world, and at present there is 18 main currency unions across the globe and new unions planned. One I thought was quite interesting is the East Caribbean dollar. These 8 islands in the East Caribbean are all part of the East Caribbean Dollar Currency Union. 2 of these are still owned by the UK and the rest used to be but since got their independence. Now a currency union certainly works for them. Now to look back at home, we have the Northern Irish pound, Scottish pound, Isle of Man pound, Jersey, Guernsey, Gibraltar, Falkland Islands and of course the English pound. These already work together, but it's an unusual union where some of these are only pegged to the pound in a semi-formal currency union. 18 countries currently use the pound, and for the previously named territories that each have their own version of the pound, although the exchange rate of sterling to each is 1 for 1, some of these currencies are not actually legal tender outside of their own territories, and none are legal in England, except of course the English pound. So we do already have our own currency, but how could it all work? Well, let's take a quick look at Jersey, Guernsey and the Isle of Man. They are in many ways independent, as they are run by their own governments and have their own currency. They are what are known as crown dependencies, which basically means the UK only has an obligation to defend them. Their governments manage their financial matters also, and they don't have a central bank. As far as central banks go, conspiracy theorists out there will tell you they were started by families who truly rule the world. Much of what is said actually makes sense. They believe it's time to bring down central banks all over the world to free people from those who control global wealth and influence more than just financial markets. Now this might be a bridge too far for some people, so let's just say their intentions are questionable to say the least, and perhaps we shouldn't be linked to them. What I will say is we do have plenty of time to solve and vote on this as a separate issue, and of course, whatever we do will be regulated to protect our money and the people. So what's wrong with the Scottish pound we already have? Quite frankly, nothing. Did you know Scottish banks who print their own notes pay fees to the Bank of England for the privilege of holding English banknotes? And as I said before, the Scottish pound is not classed as legal tender in England. Therefore, the only UK pound is the English pound. The government's white paper does explain some of these options, but really we just need to look at the other 170 countries who became independent over the last couple of hundred years for ideas. In Scotland, the Central Belt from Edinburgh through Stirling to Glasgow is considered as the second financial capital of the UK, as it houses many financial institutions, major and/or central offices. We have an abundance of financial service providers in Scotland, and pretty much all of them have foreign connections anyway. So please, don't worry about this, and don't let it be what drives your decision. It's such a small concern really, when there are so many solutions, and it has been hyped up by the Better Together campaign in their usual scaremongering fashion. Something as small as what will our currency look like is distracting you from the truth and the bigger issues. Cuts to welfare and public spending, Trident and nuclear weapons and power, misspent wealth on things we opposed, privatisation of the NHS and other services, and less heroes such as the fire brigade, police and medical workers, and the ultimate cost of the damage to our children's education due to cuts here too. There are bigger issues at stake here, and bigger concerns to be fighting for. We will get a chance to vote on our currency issues, and there is plenty of time to make the necessary arrangements, for we won't separate from the UK until 2016. So please, again, don't let this distract you. Make the right choice on the 18th for the right reasons. Vote yes.